You end up in the cursing side because you turn aside from the words that are being commanded here to the right or the left. Now, he then links it to serving. Because what you need to understand is when you turn to the right or the left, if you're not keeping Torah correctly, if you're not doing things with the right approach and everything else that's expected of you in your covenantal behavior, it's because you're serving somebody else. You're either serving your own desires, you're serving somebody else who's influencing you somehow in your life, mother, father, sister, brother, boss, employer, other YouTubers or whatever, anybody that's out there that could be influencing you. Look at the way he says it. When you turn to the left or the right from Yah's commands, you're serving another mighty one. Okay? That's the connection you need to make here. If you believe we're in end times, you should be even more motivated to get things right. Okay? You should also be even more motivated to get your pride and ego out of the way on how you need to get things right. Because that's going to be the biggest master to whom you're serving is you. I like this and I like that and I think I know so much and I think I'm doing this or whatever it is. Because all of these other masters out there are going to have you think that they're right and then you're going to end up right or left instead of straight. Oh, you can find an abundance of people teaching right now on the internet, I'm sure. It's Shabbat, I'm sure you can find a ton of teaching. And some of it's going to be saying A, B, C, D, anything under the sun. And you got the problem though. You've got to figure out who to listen to. You got to figure out where Yah's voice is, because you made a commitment, if you made a covenant, to obey his voice. And so you got to find his voice. He says, it shall be if you diligently. So what does diligent mean? Okay, it means that you're going to make some effort to get it right. Okay, you're going to pay attention to every detail, every nuance. So do you diligently vet out the teachers? I don't mean like diligently, like look at their entire life story. Because if you looked at the entire life story of some of the people in your book, you wouldn't listen to any of them, okay? I'm saying when they got the role, do you hear the voice, his voice? Are they answering questions you've always had? Are they clarifying things you just never understood? Are they showing you things that you didn't even realize were there and you realize, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it's saying because it's his voice? And then diligence is on you. It says, if you diligently, you can't diligently obey if you don't at least diligently look for the Ephesians 4:11 teacher. Don't just find anybody randomly on the topic you're looking for on YouTube. In Ephesians 6, what chapter is that for everybody? The armor, right? The armor of Elohim. It says you're going to gird your waist with truth. Okay, what does the tzitzit represent? Torah. What does Torah represent? Truth. What does the blue thread represent? Messiah. What is Messiah? The truth. So, maybe he was talking about putting tzitzit around your waist. Gird your waist with truth. Go listen to my Armor of Elohim teaching. It's in there. But let's just understand, when you look at what the tzitzit represent, if it's Messiah wrapped around the body, around the people, that's your imperfect, stained white wrapped in the perfect blue that covers you. You can't get that image with red and yellow and green and whatever other color tzitzit. You just can't, okay? It just doesn't represent the truth, the reality of you being washed in the blood, covered by Messiah, but otherwise you're stained. And so we wrap around and it covers the stain. You got to guard to do all. But you can't guard to do all if you haven't figured out what all means and you don't have a teacher to teach you what all means, because you got a lot of teachers out there teaching you all kinds of different ideas of what all means as far as what commands we keep today. Now, we don't keep the ones we can't keep. You can't do any of the temple stuff. There's no temple. You understand what I'm saying? We only don't keep the ones you can't keep. Can you keep Shabbat? Then why aren't you keeping it? Of course you can keep Shabbat. Can you eat right? Yep. Can you keep feasts? Yep. Can you not murder, not steal, not commit adultery, not do idolatry? Can you not bear false witness? Can you not? These are all things that still exist today. Can you wear tzitzit? It's a commandment. Can you? Come on. Because he says if you do all of that, he's going to set you high above all the nations. Listen to what it says. We are supposed to be coming into the unity of belief and of the knowledge of the Son of Elohim, to a perfect man filled with integrity, to the measure of the stature of the completeness of Messiah, so that we're no longer children tossed about by every wind of teaching. That burden belongs on both the teachers and the students, so to speak. The students need to find the teachers, but the teachers have to be able to understand their role. If the teachers can't come together, how are they going to expect anybody else to come together? The answer is because they're not proper Ephesians 4:11 anointed teachers. They're people with microphones who like having authority, like hearing the sound of their own voices, whatever it is. You know, if you got a big enough group, it could be a nice paying job. But that's not why we're here. That's not what I'm here for, okay? I'm here to give you everything possible to hear the words, well done, good and trustworthy servant. Period, end of story. Look, some of you are like, oh, I think it's end times. Then pay attention. Stop goofing off. If you think it's that serious, which by the way it is, not because it's end times, but because it's your end time. You don't know how much time you have. This is your moment. You're responsible for what you hear and what you've seen in the Word and what He's revealed to you, period. That which is revealed belongs to who? Us. Okay? Who reveals? The voice. The Ephesians 4:11 people reveal. He brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, redeemed you from the house of bondage to make you stray from the way. So this is talking about people that will make you stray from the way. But they're not going to tell you, hey, come here, I'm going to help you stray from the way. No, they're going to teach you the way crooked with a left and right turn here and there. They're not teaching you the way straight. They're to be treated. Now, we're not to kill them. But why would you still listen to them? Why would you go and attend their places? Why would you do any of these things? Why would you send the money? Because some of you still send the money. Why are you supporting those that he says here, okay? He says they have done what they're doing to make you stray from the way in which Yahweh your Elohim commanded you to walk. He says, thus you shall purge evil. Laws have all kinds of jurisdictions, parameters that are connected to it, okay? Are there any jurisdictions connected to, for example, keeping the Sabbath? Yeah, as long as the sun and the moon and the stars are in the heavens. In other words, those things still exist. Other laws require you to be in the land as a corporate nation with judges, etc., to implement those laws. So no, we don't get to stone anybody. I love when people first find out about it, I'm keeping commandments, they'll be like, oh, so what are you going to do, go out and stone people now? I said, well, I'd like to start with you, but I do say that, by the way. They kind of half laugh when I say that. I said, of course not. Oh, so you're not going to keep the law. No, that's one I can't keep because it requires other things that don't exist. But you got to take the warning here. It says, look, who is the trustworthy wise servant? The one who is found so doing when the unexpected timing of the master does actually show up. Okay? That unexpected timing, by the way, might be the fact that you die before he shows up and the next thing you see is him. So that wasn't expected. So you have to be ready for him showing up because he might show up after you die, but as far as you're concerned, it's the next minute. You're asleep and then now you're standing before him and you're like, uh-oh, I should have taken this more seriously. I should have been awake. Some of you are falling asleep before you quote unquote fall asleep. You're like walking zombies. You're like walking dead. You don't understand. Okay? You guys who are not, if you're not doing what he said, you're dead man walking.